Hello, I'm the Rev Pat Cashman, and this is the Church of the Ascension in Rochester, New York. In a few hours from now, we will open our doors to welcome worshipers to go deeper into the story about what Jesus' last days were like. You might be wondering why this is still important, since these events took place about 2,000 years ago. But really, if you want to understand, you have to participate in the story. What I recommend is to participate in the story. First of all, listen to it. Read it out loud, or listen to someone else read it. You can find the story of Jesus' Last Supper in the Bible. Just turn towards the back and find Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Go to the end of each of these sections. Basically, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all have the same plot, but each guy has his own intriguing details and versions of Jesus' last days. Once you hear the story, think about it. Mull it over. Use your imagination and see yourself in the scene of betrayal, swordplay, ambush, courtroom battles, prison torture, and the power of a political regime to reign by terror by using just a few nails and some wood. The Romans crucified thousands and thousands of people. Churches everywhere are going to help people live this story tonight and tomorrow under the mild name of church service. For us in the Episcopal Church, we will be hearing the story tonight as told by John. In our church, we call this service Maundy Thursday because in Jesus' final teachings, he gave us this mandate. In John chapter 13, verse 34, Jesus says, "I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another." Jesus definitely had a unique spin on love. We may associate love with drama or pleasure or security, but for him it was all about being gentle, truthful, and humble. If we were to demonstrate these traits in our personal love relationships, I think we would find that our relationships would last longer and lead us to a sweeter way of thinking, feeling, and acting. But Jesus wasn't just talking about personal relationships. He would not have been killed if he had just stuck to the private realm. No, he was using love to subvert the powers and traditions that kept people apart in public, segregated and alienated by the virtue of class, religion, and sex. Love one another, he said, and then he threw the social order under the bus by kneeling down before them. Those poor stunned disciples, their toes bare in his hands. Here is a modern way that maybe you can imagine this. Next time you are in an airport or train station, check out the place where men go to get their shoes shined and ask, which would you prefer to be, the one shining the shoes or the one getting their shoes shined? Jesus said, "I'm among you as one who serves. If you are my followers, you will do the same." Why is it important, maybe more important than ever, that we remember what Jesus did on the last days of his life and try to participate in the kind of love he showed? It is important that the human race still hopes and needs peace to overcome war and forgiveness to overcome hate, mercy to overcome greed, and courage to overcome fear of death. If you can, go to a public showing of Jesus' story playing in a church close to you tonight and tomorrow. Participate in the story. Pray for love to rise up over the world. Thank you for listening. God bless you with new life and hope in the season ahead. From the Church of the Ascension, Rochester, New York.